Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Filmcast. My name is Ben, the film reviewer, and I am joined by Eddie. Say hello.
Hello.
So, we are here today to review No Country for Old Men, which is a 2007 Coen Brothers film which stars Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem, and Tommy Lee Jones. And it's about Josh Brolin, who plays the character of Llewellyn, who stumbles across a drug deal gone wrong, and he takes the money, which is $2 million, and he takes it. But Javier Bardem has a tracker in the money, so he is following him and trying to kill him to get the money back. And then there is also the sheriff, played by Tommy Lee Jones, who is trying to help save Josh Brolin and trying to stop whoever is coming for him, which is Anton Chigurh, played by Javier Bardem. So, what did you think of the film?
I thought it was very good. I really enjoyed it.
It's
Um,
uh, it's
I
one.
especially like the very intense scenes that
Uh huh.
used.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite films. I enjoyed it even more watching it on the second viewing because I just thought it was fantastic. I know at the end of the last episode I said it was my tied for favorite Coen Brothers film, but I think this is solidified as my favorite Coen Brothers film. Um. So yeah, this is my favorite Coen Brothers film. But for the film itself, it's a fantastically crafted thriller. It's based on a book, and the Coen brothers really know how to adapt something into a brilliant film. They normally write original screenplays, but this one was based off a book, and it's just fantastic in every way possible. Um, it's from everything to like the performances to just how the scenes play out. It's just fantastic. Um, I think what people remember most is either Javier Bardem's character of Anton Chigurh or um, the coin toss scene. I think those are the things that people remember the most. Because obviously the scene is one of the most intense scenes that has been remembered, I guess, because just it's just fantastic. Um, just like the way that it plays out, like because you obviously have Javier Bardem, who says everything really bluntly and just very
Yeah, sorry about that.
he comes across as very passive aggressive, like and just very threatening to the shopkeeper, and it's just such a it's it just plays out really intense. He's just an innocent shopkeeper that hasn't done anything. He's just making conversation, and he just happens to come across in his store, and he kills him. No, he doesn't kill him. Sorry, he comes across, and Javier Bardem plays fate with him. That's what he sees it as, and it's just brilliant. Just it just is. Just all of the scenes that are supposed to be intense are brilliant. They either have dialogue, and but it's really well written and performed, or it has little to no dialogue, and it just entirely plays out. And it has little to no music, and the Coen brothers know how
So,
to do that.
what technical aspects of it did you like?
Well, pretty much
What did you
everything.
think stood out the most?
Pretty much everything. Like the obviously the screenplay from the Coen Brothers, the direction from the Coen Brothers, the cinematography by Roger Deakins looks fantastic. Um, this is the second film that has the cinematography done by Roger Deakins now that we've talked about on the podcast. He did 1917, but the cinematography is beautiful, especially in the night scene where Josh Brolin, where some people end up chasing Josh Brolin. It looks fantastic. Obviously, you have the blue night sky, and it just looks brilliant. Um, but there's pretty much everything I think stood out as being great. Like just I can find little to no, well, not even little. Just I don't have a single flaw with it, to be honest. Do you?
Um, not really.
No, I don't.
It was quite a long film, but I don't think that really.
It was on for 2 hours. I think it's the second longest Coen Brothers film that they've done. I think the longest they did was Ballad of Buster Scruggs, but Coen Brothers films don't tend to be on for very long. Um, have you seen any other Coen Brothers films? I don't think you have you?
No, I don't think I have. No.
Does this make you want to watch more?
Um, g- Depends what sort of film it is, though.
Does it? Well, mainly they've done thrillers and comedies. Um, like I can only name two of their films that I think are bad. I've seen all of them, but I can only name two
Yeah.
that are bad out of their 18 films. But um, yeah, you should watch Fargo. That's my second favorite one that they've done. That one's just fantastic as well. That one isn't really it's a thriller, but more of a dark thriller. Not wait, not dark. Sorry, I mean it has a lot of dark humor in, which is really funny. In
Yeah.
Fargo, unlike this, I think I laughed nervously twice during this. I think it was one of the scenes with Javier Bardem, but this is very dark and gritty and realistic in the sort of film that it is. It it portrays the world as just hell, and there is evil prevails. Well, whatever. I don't know, but yeah, this is this. I just love this film so much. Um,
Yes.
yeah. Um,
See why it is one of your favorite films.
Yeah, um, like I think I have like four Coen Brothers films that are my favorite. Some of my favorite films. Um, but
Yeah.
this is the one that if I had to pick one, this is the one that I would pick. As like I was trapped on a desert island and I could only have one Coen Brothers film, I would pick this one because I could honestly just put it on now. Because as of recording this, I only watched it yesterday, and I could just watch it again now. It's that good.
Hmm.
Yeah, but did you think? What did you think of the use of violence in this and the gritty nature of it?
What? Sorry.
What did you think of the use of violence and the gritty nature of it in this?
I thought it suited the sort of mood of the film. Like, not mood,
The tone.
tone. Yeah, the tone of the film.
Yeah,
It is about drugs. So
yeah. The Javier Bardem's character inflicts a lot of the violence, and the
yeah,
when he does it, it's very gritty and realistic, and it it really comes across as that he'll stop at nothing to get anything. Basically, the one time it doesn't show any of the violence is the scene near this motel type place, and that's basically where Josh Brolin dies. So does was it his wife? I don't even know who's his wife. Wife or girlfriend? Her mother dies as well. I'm pretty sure it was her mother dies as well. Um, and it's on it just that it doesn't show that, but it shows the sort of bloody aftermath, and Tommy Lee Jones stumbles across it, and then obviously he first finds the woman in the pool, and it does that brilliantly. It doesn't need to show it. It doesn't need to end with a big, large gunfight. It can just do that, and that's good enough. Um,
yeah. Being
yeah,
not good at making
yeah,
not so tense scenes. Make them tense.
mhm,
Is that what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's also uh, it doesn't show the violence in another scene, um, with what's her name? The Josh Brolin's girlfriend or wife. I can't remember. Uh, it was her, and Javier Bardem is in her house, and sorry, uh, and he does the his normal thing, but she doesn't play, which ends in him walking out of the house, and obviously he's killed her because she didn't decide to play, which is against the rules, you could say. Um,
Mm.
but that was like just really just his character is really fantastically written into his rules of what he does, and his basic rules are if he doesn't need to kill them, he'll choose it with a coin toss as a sort of fate, and that's the way he sees it. But then, if it's someone that he has to kill, he just kill them.
Yeah.
Obviously, he ends up killing quite a lot of people. He kills the policeman at the beginning. He kills a random person in a car with the air pump thing that he has, which is really interesting object, isn't it?
Yeah.
To have,
Very-
which
it's very interesting. Yes.
yeah. He also carries around the shotgun, is it, with a silencer on, um,
Yeah. It's
which
called.
when I first watched it, I didn't realize. I was really confused as to the noise that it makes because I never really heard a shotgun with a silencer on before. Um, that was the first time
Oh.
that I'd seen
I
one.
mean, it is weird with a shotgun with a silencer on.
Yeah, it makes a
It's not normally a weapon that you'd want to be quiet, if you know what I mean.
yeah. But yeah, he kills those three Mexican people in
Yeah.
the motel. That motel scene is this that motel scene is really intense because Josh Brolin is trying to get the money. Javier Bardem has stumbled that he's there, knows that he's there, tries to find him, and he's in the other room, and he just hears a bunch of people dying and getting shot, and the Uzi's being fired, and then he manages to get away then, but at one point he realizes that there's a tracker in it and takes it out, but that's too late because Javier Bardem's already there, and he's there to come and kill him, and
Yeah.
he gets shot, Josh Brolin, and he comes across. A thing that I thought was quite interesting was there's two scenes, the one with Josh Brolin and one with Javier Bardem. They aren't. This isn't the same scene. They're two separate scenes. Josh Brolin's character Llewellyn is shot, and he pretends that he's been in a car accident. And he stumbles across these three people. He offers them money to give them the coat, but since they're very arrogant people and they realize that he's obviously injured, they want money first before the coat, and they give him the coat. And at the end, and then he asks for the beer, but then they hesitantly give him it. But then, and he was more of a good person than obviously than Javier Bardem was. And near the end, the penultimate scene is Javier Bardem is in a car crash, in an actual car crash. Unlike before, when Josh Brolin pretended he was in a car crash, he's in an actual one, and he is injured. His bone is sticking out of his arm, and these two teenagers come across him, and he asks for one of their shirts, and they just give him it without any hesitation. But he still offers them money after he's given them the shirt. He still gives them money. It's just, and then he gets away. It's just very. I just thought that that was very interesting. That the person that was more evil, was treated better than the other person. I just thought that that was a very interesting sort of contrast, and I wonder if that was put in there deliberately, because I think it might have been because it was more subtle, but it just I thought that that was quite smart if it was deliberate, and I'm not just making this up, and this is just a coincidence, but I thought that that was
What?
really interesting.
Yeah. By the way, that's a good point. What's many Oscars did it win?
Oh, it won Best
So
Picture.
yeah.
Yeah, it won Best Picture. I think it won Adapted Screenplay most likely. Javier Bardem won for Best Supporting Actor, um, because his performance is fantastic. He really can act. I've only seen him in three films, I think. I've seen him in this Skyfall and the Pirates of the Caribbean 5 film, where he all plays the villain of the film. Obviously, I think he was cast in this obviously because of this film. Um, he was in an Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu film, which I haven't seen. Where that's not really a villain thing. That's something else. But I haven't seen him in anything else. I do want to watch more of his films that he's been in, obviously, because he's a fantastic actor. Um, I don't. He reminds me of Christoph Waltz, who they're both older people, like I say mid 40s. I don't actually know how old they are, but they're not young. They're not young actors, but they're in a role of a villain. Obviously, Christoph Waltz was the role of the villain in Glorious Bastards. He plays Colonel Hans Lada, and then he got noticed, and he plays the villain. He's been the villain in Django Unchained, but they're both Tarantino films. And then he was also the villain in Spectre. And just it reminds me of those two people because they have kind of similar type roles, I would say, because of I don't think Hans Lada was like as psychopathic as obviously this character, but I'm not really saying that of their particular role. I'm saying it's more that they're both villains and that they've been noticed now that they're good at playing villains. It just yeah, I just thought that'd be a good point to make. Um, but yeah, yeah. What was the even the original question? I don't know. I don't know how I actually got onto that, but yeah. Um, yeah. I think that the narrative structure of this film is very well done. Obviously, it was adapted. I must have said that like 5 times now, but obviously, it's an adapted screenplay. But it's fantastically written because it jumps around from all these three different stories that well, not necessarily three, but it's obviously the same story. But you jump around from each character, from Javier Bardem to Josh Brolin to Tommy Lee Jones, and you're all equally engaged in all of them. And they always obviously cut off at just the right point, to keep you engaged and wanting to know what happens next. They're all done brilliantly, and it starts with a voiceover from Tommy Lee Jones. The Coen Brothers normally do voiceovers at the start of their films, and they've done it quite a lot. They've done it in Blood Simple, Big Lebowski, a lot of the films, and they've done it here as well. And then it ends with Tommy Lee Jones giving a monologue about one of his dreams, which is also interesting. But yeah, they do that really well, the Coens. Um, uh, yeah. Do you have anything else to add to that?
I don't know. Um, did did like the character development?
Oh
It
yeah.
was very good.
Yeah, because obviously Josh Brolin at the beginning he just takes the money, but you find out that he more of is involved with like a family, but he still wants to have the money at the end. And then Javier Bardem, obviously he was developed well into showing his psychopathy, but that's not even a word. But yeah, he his development was well done. And then obviously Tommy Lee Jones, who um obviously yeah, it was all well done. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I. I guess that's just about it. Unless there's anything else, I guess I'll just say that it's one of the most intense films that I've ever seen. The Coens do that really well in all their thrillers. Um. Yeah. That's all I really have to. I think that's it. I think that's it. Just about. I think. Do you have anything else to add?
Um, really.
Not really.
I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't got too much knowledge in the technical part of films, so
Uh huh.
you haven't got much to add, no.
No. I
Like
feel
the
yeah,
cinematography though.
yeah. The cinematography by Roger Deakins was fantastic. Yeah, I feel like I've spoken a lot more than you, but that might just be because I like this film loads. Um,
You probably know about, as I said, you know about more about the technical and stuff about
yeah,
films.
hmm yeah,
I didn't really have anything to say because you said it all anyway. So
yeah. So I would give No Country for Old Men a 10 out of 10. What would you give it?
um, I'll give it 8 out of 10.
An 8 out of 10. All right. So
Yeah.
um,
I would. Well, I know why you would give it 10 out of 10.
yeah. Do you think that there's anything stopping it from getting a 10?
I mean, it is very long. It's a very long film.
It's only on for 2 hours. Did you just think that maybe it could have been a bit quicker in its pacing?
Uh,
Maybe.
it was just the length, really.
Did you just feel
If
it?
it was a bit shorter, and then
Yeah.
it was a bit like called. Uh,
Personally, I disagree. I think that it doesn't waste a single second at all whatsoever. I I just couldn't stop watching. Like I just yeah. Um. But yeah. Like but just yeah. So I guess that's it. I guess. So I give that. I would give No Country for Old Men a 10 out of 10. So um right. Okay. So um I am very sorry about this. My internet seems has to have gone down. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to um just phone the Eddie who is on this podcast. This is ending out to be quite strange. So here we are. We're ringing him now. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
We're still recording, by the way. We're just gonna leave this in. But my internet has gone down.
Oh.
So I guess we'll just end it like this. Sorry about Eddie's audio at the moment. That's just because I'm ringing on my phone. But we're just gonna end it like this. So yeah, follow us. Oh wait, no, we need the recommendation first for next
Yes.
episode.
Yes.
So that's your choice today.
Yes, my choice was The Great Escape.
Mhm.
It's one of my favorite films, so
Uh huh.
I
So
think I don't think I'll need to watch it again.
do you not think?
'Cause-
All
no,
right.
I literally know most things that happen in the film.
Right. I've only seen it once, and I think I watched it about probably just under a year ago. I think I watched it for the first time. But so yeah, next episode, which is episode 4, which will be out next Saturday, we will be reviewing Great Escape. Next up, this particular episode, I actually don't even know whether it's going to be out today. I mean, Saturday, because I don't know whether my Wi-Fi is going to go back up. But you can follow us on Twitter and Letterboxd. Please subscribe to the channel as well and like the video. You know, all that stuff.
Yeah, we really appreciate it if you guys subscribe.
Yeah.
That's the one thing
Yeah.
you probably do.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to like the video, like just subscribe.
Yeah. So, on our letterbox, we'll keep track of each film that we review and our overall average rating. And also, mine and Eddie's, we both have two lists. One where my ranking of the films that we reviewed, and the other one is Eddie's ranking of the films that we reviewed. So, yeah, that's about it. So, thanks for watching, and bye.
Thank you, bye.